one you think is the best or which one you finna cop. Write down in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And let's get into it.
With that same link in the description, where you could also get Chick-fil-A for completely free with our method in there too. And this is just to give you a taste of what Endurance offers outside of sneaker reselling, so when you're ready for, check out Endurance on the same link below or by final day for Yeezy drops. And with this drop, we have the Yeezy Boost 700 Wave Runner. This is an iconic pair that many people want personals for, and I definitely do not blame them. However, as for resale, I can't say the same. If you have tax in your state, even if these maintain their current value, you're not going to be able to profit off them. Even
I did want those
really
for the
big
Miniswallow,
sizes, of course, because of the fees. Unless
Same
you are
here,
selling
but I'm
locally,
not like a real.
you could avoid fees. But if you have no
size.
tax in your state, and assuming these do hold up their value, which I think they will on those large sizes, then you could make a little bit of lunch money with no tax, around $20 to $30. It's a poor margin, but it is worth noting. I think most of us are excited to get a personal pair if you don't already have these, though. Then we're also going to be seeing the Yeezy Foam Runner Desert Sand drop for $90. Currently, the value on these is holding up pretty well, but after the drop, I would actually expect these to drop a little bit more value, but they still should hold up enough to make some lunch money to brick profit, especially if you have no tax and you're selling on platforms. But even if you do have tax, you should be able to make a little bit of brick profit with a poor margin. So
comfortable,
I would recommend going for these, especially in those large sizes. Then finally for Yeezys, we have the Yeezy 450 Slide Cream also dropping. Despite this being the only 450 colorway, unfortunately with a retail of $110, you are not going to be able to profit off these. These are strictly going to be just personals. Then also on the 13th for $135, we're getting the long-awaited Air Force One Low Linen. Now on the surface, this might look like an ordinary Air Force One colorway, but actually these first debuted back in 2001 as part of a Co-JP collection exclusively to the Japanese market, and now these are finally going to be available to the general public. Unfortunately, with a retail of $135 where pre-sale is right now, I don't expect these to really be profitable, but if you do want a personal pair, I would not sleep on them. I'm definitely expecting them to sell out. Then most importantly, on the 13th, we should see the raffle open for the Jordan 3 Nina Chanel Albany Bicoastal. Now initially I was skeptical of this pair, but as of now it looks like demand is a lot higher than what we initially saw, so I'm actually going to change my prediction to say not only will the large sizes be profitable, but I think all sizes will remain profitable. You should definitely go full throttle on these, but of course those larger sizes should perform the best. Definitely want to go for these. And not only are they having the raffle on the 13th through Nina Chanel's website, but also on the 20th we should see these drop globally for multiple retailers and the full drop on Nike sneakers, which you should definitely go for, of course, because there's free returns there. But overall, very optimistic about this shoe despite my initial skepticism, and honestly they are sort of growing on me. This is a very unique Jordan 3 and I'm starting to become a fan of them. Let me know what you think about them. Then we have a crazy day on June 14th. We'll start off light with the Panini Reebok Prism Collection drop.
Oh, those are tough. Hold up, wait a minute. I like these. I like
I'm not a real fan of Reebok. I'm not a real fan.
I don't have any part, but I like those. The white ones are
ES22 Color Blast. These are $200. Then we have the preseason 94 Gold Prism.
Actually, no, I lied. The only Reeboks I got is the Answers from AI.
Oh, that's the only sneaker that I would definitely cop because I do have a pair, but they Jet Life.
For only $140, and then the preseason 94 Low Purple Prism, these are only $120. Now unfortunately, based off of prior Panini Reebok collabs, I would assume that these are all going to follow the same fate where they're just going to be personal, they're just going to be bricks. More exciting, on the 14th for $140 each, we're getting a second chance at the Stone Island New Balance 574 in both colorways. We already saw the Stone Island website drop for these today on the 12th, but the New Balance website drop is going to be on the 14th, and as always when it comes to these drops, we are going to be supplied by bypass links from the Gargantua AIO bot inside of Endurance, which again you could join with the link in the description below. When it comes to these with a retail of $140, these should definitely be profitable with a good to great margin. You definitely want to try for any size you could get your hands on, and not only that, but these are some pretty fire personals too. Also on the 14th, we got the Clot Adidas Gazelle Halo Ivory dropping for $160. Even though pre-sale on these looks pretty solid right right now. Not really expecting that to hold up. At best, maybe you
They
might
look like
get
they
some brick profit off of some of the larger
They look like
sizes
that.
if you have
They
no
look like
tax
that itchy
thing,
sweater
but
you be having.
pretty skeptical overall. I think they're mostly going to be personals unless they're extremely limited. Also on the 14th for $160, an unexpected collab, we have the Metro Boomin KD17 dropping. Unfortunately, pre-sales already close to retail on these, so they're probably just going to end up being personal. But it's possible you do see a jump in value on those very large sizes, but even if that is the case, at best I'd only expect great profit if you have no tax, so they're mostly just going to be personal, even though I hate to say it because I am a huge Metro Boomin fan. Then potentially on the 14th, and I say potentially because this was the rumored date initially, but we still have yet to hear from Action Bronson what the actual date is going to be. Lately he's been releasing most of the information through his Instagram stories and sometimes even doing surprise drops, so we have yet to see exactly when these are going to be released, but be prepared for a potential drop on the 14th. This is the Action Bronson New Balance 1906R Medusa Azul, and if you've been paying attention to my recent short videos, you know that all the sneakers from this collaboration are very profitable with great margin because they're so limited, and prior Action Bronson collabs have done just as well. This pair is apparently supposed to have the most stock of the three, so even though they might look the best, they might actually perform the worst, but irregardless of that, they're still gonna be very profitable with a great margin. You should definitely try to get these in any of the sizes. Now, it's possible we see them do a surprise drop through the Instagram stories like they did for the last pair, so we are monitoring the Instagram stories with OCR, so if they do post a password in there again, you'll be able to copy and paste from the Instagram monitor and try to copy these as soon as possible. If you're in Endurance, again, you could join there with the link in the description below. Then also for the 14th, Pata just recently made a post where they're going to be dropping tons of Pata, Air Max, New Balance, all their prior collaborations over the past 20 years through their app. Now, of course, it's not going to be a ton of stock per pair, but you'll have a chance at least to get each of these pairs, and what that means is the market shouldn't really be affected by this, so whatever you see on StockX should reflect pretty accurately on what you're going to be able to get after you get your pairs, because the market shouldn't really be impacted by this. So for the most part, you're going to want to focus on the Air Maxes in the very large sizes, of course. As of now, I would say make sure you download the Pata app, make sure you have an account, and you familiarize yourself with how the app works, of course. Then finally for the 14th, yes, we're still on the 14th, for $165, we got the Nocta Nike Air Zoom Drive dropping. Unfortunately, all Noctas are just bricking for the most part. I don't expect this to be any different, especially with the current public opinion on Drake. Then on the 15th, for $180, the Jordan 1 High Denim is going to be dropping, but you could actually get these below retail already in the secondary market, so definitely wait for a sale.
The ones that they came out last, I think it was last year, the year before last year was fire.
We're visible.
He
We're the
got
wireless company with nothing to hide. Seriously.
I like those.
Hidden fees? We don't have them. Annual comp?
Similarly, also on the 15th, for $215, we got the Jordan 4 Oxidized Green. I actually think these are really nice. In fact, I think this is a nicer colorway than the Jordan 4 Metallic in green. But unfortunately, these are below retail, so if you do want a personal, you get them for below retail or just wait for a sale. Then on June 17th, for $160, very similar to the Metro Boomin KD, we now got the Alchemist KD 17, and this because Nike is doing a producer pack with these KD releases, which I think is a really cool concept, but I think the execution on this colorway was off, unfortunately. Not a big fan of the colorway, but I like the concept.
I don't like the colorway.
It look like he's trying to copy Air Maxes.
I'm not really expecting it to hold up. Similar to the Metro Boomin pair, at best, maybe you could get some brick profit with a poor margin on those very large sizes if you have no tax. Otherwise, though, they're just going to be personals. And the same goes for the Bink KD 17, which is also dropping on June 17th for $160. Mostly just personals with slight brick profit potential on those larger sizes. Then on the 18th for $135, we're getting the full Nike sneakers drop for the Nike Dunk Low Philly. These already had two prior drops, and they're holding up very well in value. Despite a retail of $135, I am expecting these to be profitable with a good margin, especially in those larger sizes. I'm not paying for best. Of course, I am expecting price to drop a bit, but it still should be sufficient for profitability. This is definitely a very unique colorway. I have to hand it to Nike for this one.
They come
put
out
a lot of
the
effort
14th.
into this, and I'm personally a fan. I'm hoping to get a pair. Then on the 20th, we have some collabs. First, we got the 8on8 Asics Gel Cayano 14 dropping in two colorways. We got a purple and a black. Unfortunately, the black colorway is already pretty much at retail, retail, so these are just personals. Currently, pre-sale for the purple one is very high, but there really isn't any demand right there. So I'm going to say right now that these are mostly just going to be personals, unfortunately. Maybe we'll be surprised by the purple one.
Yeah, if you trying to sell sneakers.
As of right now, although I will say these are pretty solid if you do want a nice pair of Asics. Then on the 21st, for $222, in addition to a drop for all the NFT holders, anyone who doesn't have an NFT holder will have a chance to get the Artifact Nike Dunk.
I want those so bad. I want those so bad. So bad. I want those so bad. These are fire.
I mean, what?
I want those so bad.
What is on the tongue? Just explain that to me. What is that?
I don't know.
If you Google it, you'll get a better perception of what's on top.
I don't know, but I want them bad.
What is that, an ankle monitor?
I guess.
And there's only going to be 1,000 pairs dropped to the general public. Right now, demand for these is actually pretty high. So I do think at worst these have.
Oh, bro, I'm not paying $6 beans for these, bro.
A lot more than that, especially in the bigger sizes. Not 100% what to expect, but I would recommend going for these, especially because the Warriors does have free returns. Then on the 22nd for $190, you can get the Jordan 11 Low Women's Legend Pink. But unfortunately, these are just going to be personals. Like many Jordan 11 Lows we've seen, especially this colorway. In fact, you might be able to get them for below retail if you are patient. Similarly, also on June 22nd for $200, you could get the Jordan 1 High 85 Metallic Burgundy, but they're already far below retail, so if you do want a personal, definitely wait for a sale or get them from the secondary market. Also on the 22nd for just $90,
oh yeah, they come out with some
Miles Morales. Like most Puma, I think these will just be personals, but if you like Spider-Man, this is a pretty solid
They got Spider-Man,
on the 22nd, we're going to be seeing
Black
the global
Panther,
release for the HUF
somebody
Nike
else.
Air Max 1
I forgot
in
the
3
person.
colorways, but on the 15th, should have mentioned these earlier, there's going to be a drop for these colorways through HUF, and there should be a sneakers pass on the 14th for reservations on the 15th. The sneakers pass should open around 1 p.m. Eastern time, but it's going to be in the LA and San Francisco area, so if you're in that area, definitely look out for that. As for all these colorways, I do think that there is brick to lunch money potential in the large sizes 11 and above, and it looks like the pink pair seems to have the most potential as of right now, at least based off of pre-sale. Overall, it's nothing too crazy, but those larger sizes should have pretty solid potential. I would suggest going for those. Then on June 25th for $210, we're getting the Jordan 13 Dune Red. I think this is one of the nicest Jordan 13s we've seen in a long time, but unfortunately, like all 13s, would still expect these to just be personals, and you might even be able to get them on sale if you do want a personal. Then also sometime in June, but without a precise date as of now, for $300, we're getting the CDG Foamposite 1 Olympic. I think this is a pretty cool pair. I've always liked Foamposites, and this is definitely.
I like Foamposites, but I'm not paying over $200 for no.
Also still easy to pull off.
No.
Then you do have that CDG branding on the back. I think this is a great sneaker, but with the retail being $300, I think it's going to be pretty hard to profit off of these. Probably unlikely. So as of now, I'll say personals only, but pretty nice personal to say.
Watch your head, mama.
So even though we're pretty much done with Yeezys, obviously June is looking insanely packed. Just make sure you stay on your toes. For example, for those New Balance drops, make sure you're watching your Instagram monitors, paying attention for the surprise password releases, and for the Stone Island drops, make sure you're using the bypass links if you have access to those. And we do have some other exciting stuff coming up too. Remember, you could join Endurance with the link in the description below.
What you think?
Nah, man. The only thing I look at
my little goddaughter.
I see that's good is the damn the Jordan 4s.
The 4s?
Yeah, that's all I see is the 4s.
What you think? What you think? You copping any? Oh, that's a hit. No, I want the 13. I want the 13s that's coming out.
Oh yeah, and the 13s, the 4s and the 13s.
Yeah. You think the 13s is a cop, right? Yeah. Say bye bye. No. What we gonna say? Thank y'all for watching. It's been great. I'm Molly.
I'm Corey.
See y'all next time.
Remember, Endurance is